So then Miss Kate spoke to me and she had an idea. She said, instead of trying to be inspirational, why don't you think about the things that inspire you? So I started to think about that. And very quickly, because I work in a school, and I love working in a school, and I love working with students, very quickly I came to 3 people who inspire me. And I've invited them along today as kind of like my support crew to help me with my message. And the third person I'd like to invite on stage is Sammy, and he's going to share some of his skills with us. So you can probably tell now why I didn't attempt this speech myself. It's kind of rather challenging. Okay, so I need to tell you 3 short stories. Why do I find these 3 people inspiring? I've got no idea why I chose them to come along and spend a bit of their morning with you today. Sammy. So I love basketball, and when I was Sammy's age, I reckon I loved basketball just as much as Sammy does. But there's a big difference. I played lots of basketball. The big difference is, when Sammy trains, he does everything. He does everything, even the difficult things, the bits that you don't really enjoy. Like when I trained, I did all the things I liked. I liked to shoot, so I just stand around and shoot. But I wouldn't dribble the ball. And what I admire most about Sammy is watching his dedication to his training. I've never seen a student his age put so much time into sport and be so focused. It's so impressive. So 3 people who truly inspire me, and they're going to help me a little bit this morning. We've got some questions I'm going to ask them. So Sammy, I've got an 8-year-old son, and he was walking to school with me the other day, and he had his basketball with him, and I said to him, so you're going to be playing basketball at break times today? And he said, no, I'm just taking it with me. And I said, why? And he said, because every time I see Sammy, he carries his basketball, and he's really good. You have that sort of impact. So clearly, basketball's a passion. What is it that you hope to achieve in the future?
My aspiration is to play college basketball at the highest level I can, and working every day to achieve that goal.
So what do you do to be the best that you can be?
I fail as much as I can, because if you fail and you have the work ethic to improve what your failures are, what your mistakes are, what your weaknesses are, you can become a much better, more rounded as a person as well.
Excellent, thank you. Now, I forgot to mention, when I'm talking about Sammy is the captain of the varsity basketball team. He was MVP this year for the basketball, MVP for the volleyball, and also forgot to mention that he was a nominee for the Sports Person of the Year, and he's doing all that just out of year 11, which is very impressive. Okay. So, we have all our year 6s here in front of us, and they're about to go through this transition, and you've all gone through it. And so, we need some advice for this wonderful group in front of us. They want to hear from you. What would you suggest for them? How would you help them with their transition? Sammy, what would you suggest?
I don't know, just to learn along the way. It's such a fun time just coming into secondary school. It's such a change, and there's a lot of stuff happening. Just find yourself, know who your friends are, and yeah, just do what you love, and find passion.
Thank you. Now, when I look up the back row, I don't know about you, I see a lot of really nervous people up there, and I actually think the parents might be a little bit more nervous about this transition than the students. If you had some advice for the parents up there in terms of what they can do to help their children as they move into secondary, what would you say to them?
Just as encouraging advice here.
This is good.
Just to support your kid in whatever they do. My parents just really help me and supported me in what I want to do, and it's more like get my work done. They're pretty flexible. But that's as long as I get my work done. So I train a lot. I get up every morning at 5:30. I'm training up. So I'm coming back at 1 o'clock sometimes. You know, it's a lot, but as soon as if you get your work done,
From your time in elementary. Number one, through the PYP you've had a chance to learn a lot about yourself, your identity, your beliefs, your values, your culture. And what we want you to do when you move into the secondary school is to be true to yourself, not to compromise. That's number one. Number two, much like these three fantastic people on stage, we want you to follow your passion. Because if you're following your passion and you're doing something you really enjoy, you're going to be successful. Most of all, you're going to be happy. So the first two, be true to yourself, follow your passion. And number three, which came through so strongly with Mighty, Vanessa and Sammy, is if you want to be successful, it takes effort. And when you're thinking about things and you're looking around and you're watching other people be successful, always think to yourself, I can do that if I invest some effort into this. With effort, just about anything is possible. And now the three things that we'd like you to take away from your time in the elementary school. Would you join with me in thanking my three guests up here?